Hello and welcome back to Mzansi Stories Review, where we review Mzansi soapies, and in today's video we are reviewing Genesis Mzansi. Now finally our boy Ish gets his big break after he has been struggling. Let me tell you, Ish has been through it. He has been through it. It's not even funny. It's not even funny, and Isha's journey, as much as it's heartbreaking to watch, honestly, to me it is. But honestly, most successful people just made it under tough circumstances. And they end up making it big. So I believe that even in the story, Ish will be even a bigger and a better artist than the current ones that they already have. So after Ish was discovered by Mr. Gigaba in downtown in a very hot mess spot, he has been trying all his means to reach Mr. Gigaba, and I think he had two. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I have flu, but I'm going to continue with the review. So I think Ish had two attempts where, honestly, he was trying so much to reach out to Mr. Gigaba. Went as far as coming to the Gigaba, to the Gigaba company, where he met a receptionist who turned him away, confused him into being a para. I mean, he is kind of homeless, so he does kind of wear clothes that's, someone will just easily confuses him in being a para because he is currently homeless, and I was so heartbroken for Ish. I was so heartbroken because he prays. This boy knows God, number one, and I'm just like, no way. Like, he has to get his big break. He deserves a big break as well. But finally, Mr. Gigaba made it availed himself. After he turned him away, like this Mr. Gigaba, at some point I was so angry with him because I'm just like, why are you turning this boy away? Why are you turning him away? Can't you see that this boy just struggles so much just to come to these offices, but he still makes it? And here you are saying he must go away. Why? Like, honestly, why? Make it make sense. Why are you doing that? But honestly, Ish just was so determined and made it, and finally got to be paired with a voice artist. And as much as he is not signed yet, okay, he has not been signed, but it's looking good. It's looking like he is gonna get a contract. I just so hope they're not gonna exploit him. Honestly, that's just one thing that I'm very much hopeful for, that he never gets exploited in any way, any shape, anyhow. But anyway, the good news is our boy Ishman. He has already clocked himself, Sana. Clock it. In this company, someone who's wealthy, from a wealthy family, Kuhle, has a big crush on our boy. Have a big crush on our boy Uish. And then when it's happened, so listen, when it's happened, there's a whole scene. Ish was singing a love gospel song, kinda, Ish was referring to himself being madly in love, no God. But yeah, when Uguhle walks in and heard this love song, Miguel melted like a chocolate. It's like anything that you can think of that smells like ice cream. Miguel melts, okay? And Uish, he's into hustling, for now his main focus is making money. He's all about money. So obviously it's hard for him to notice if he's being liked by anyone, by any girl. It's just so hard for him to notice that Ish, clock it. It's very hard and close to impossible for him to notice that actually this girl likes me or this girl is into me. So Ish haven't noticed that girl is so much in love, that girl is falling for him. Ish haven't noticed. And I don't know, guys, we already have Maruna and Bongo's drama, and now we're gonna have Kuhle and Ish's drama. But one thing about Ish that worries me so much is it's Fistos. Fistos is currently Ish's right hand man. And I worry about their relationship. Honestly, I do. I feel like as soon as Ish makes it, Ish is just gonna get rid of Fistos in a very, 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 very unnice, unfriendly manner. Anyway, we have Bongo. Bongo has been given a whole CEO position. Okay, baby boy is not even trying to fight. It's not even trying to fight about him becoming a CEO. Nope, baby boy is just madly in love. He's worried about Maruna. Maruna is trying so hard to distance herself from Bongo, even going as far as saying that no, for now, she just want to focus on her studies and she just wants to switch up career and perhaps try to do law and all that. And, Bongo on the other side is just stressed. Okay, it's just stressed. Never mind that a lot is going on in his family. His stepdad and his mom are fighting and he doesn't really know why, and he doesn't really care. Honestly speaking, he just cares about Maruna at this point. He even talks to his mom to say, listen, he's very worried about Maruna wanting to change a career, switch up into being a lawyer. I mean, when Maruna is just a great singer, and why would she just want to give up on her singing career and try something else? Singing should be her main priority. But her mom, who doesn't want to talk to Maruna and definitely doesn't want Maruna and Bongo together, she just says, listen, she cannot do that to a woman, because she strongly believes that women needs to get them education, child. Of which is true. Very, very true. However, Bongo is willing to be very much persistent towards his mom, And what worries me about Bongo, he's supposed to be fighting so hard for his CEO position, but nope, he's busy with Maruna. And he goes as far as saying that, he understands that his family is broken and his family is currently going through it right now. And he would like to assist. And he's thinking that perhaps the best way for him to assist is to expand the family. He says things like he's thinking of having a child now, just so that the family could expand, His mom is just like, Bongo, this is not the time or the place, But Bongo and his mom looks like they really do have like a kind of special, a truly special mother and son bond. So Ubongo is just begging at this point, okay? He is begging that his mom has to accept Maruna, because Maruna is the girl that he wishes to get married to. No one else is better than Maruna, and he just wishes that he and Maruna would just make and create some magic together. Make kids, okay? Kids are those magic that would be made and created. Shame, Bantla Felicia at this point is being cornered, because one, Felicia cares about Bongo so much, and she would do absolutely anything to make Bongo happy. And right now, one thing that would make Bongo happy is just for Felicia to accept Maruna and accepts that he is madly in love with Maruna and he wants to marry Maruna. Felicia just finds herself really having no much of a choice but to just accept that, this is what her son wants at the moment. Her son wants to get married to Maruna. But I'm thinking Felicia, like when I'm looking at Felicia, I'm looking at sneaky. I am definitely looking at sneaky. So I am not fooled. I am not fooled by Felicia's sudden amusement or towards the wedding or towards Bongo wanting to get married. I'm like, nope, Felicia, you cannot fool me. My thinking to this whole thing is that Felicia will actually meet up with Maruna and say, listen, now the ball is up to you, okay? You just have to go and tell my son that you do not wish to get married to him. Yeah. I mean, at some point, because Maruna have Wendy as a mother, Wendy is pushy. Wendy is pushy. So at some point, Maruna will think that she's doing the right thing by maybe rejecting Bongo and just being like, listen, Bongo, really, we have nothing much. We have nothing in common. Like, let's just stay out of each other's way. And all that. I think at some point Maruna will think, yeah, that's the right thing to do. But Wendy being Wendy is going to push Maruna. Wendy is going to be like, that's your bread and butter. You cannot let go of Bongo, because Wendy just always have a way of just pushing so much of Maruna. And I'm thinking that at some point, Maruna and Bongo will get married whilst Felicia knowing the secrets and just keep quiet. And I wonder who will Felicia think she's protecting, her husband or her son. Like, this is so crazy. I feel like parents at some points, they just need to let go of the idea of them protecting their grown children. Like, no, when a child is grown, they need to know that the world is an unfriendly place to be in. But anyways, the marriage between Felicia and Gabriel is crumbling right now. It's in shambak. It's on its knees. Everything is just falling apart at this point because there is no trust amongst them. And Gabriel made it clear that he ain't going no way. He just ain't going no way. Mara guys, in Gabriel agaswabi mara I honestly don't know anyone who don't have shame like Gabriel. Like, he should be ashamed of himself. Like, for real. Why? What makes a man who fights for another man's inheritance? Remember that Gabriel married Felicia while Felicia was already had 2 kids from her previous marriage, of which her husband is deceased, Mr. Tapete, right? So when Felicia got married to Gabriel, they then moved in to Tabete's house, meaning initially the house is Bongo's and Bongo's younger sister, Kuhle. It's not Gabriel's. Like, it is not Gabriel. Gabriel is also running another man's company. I mean, as much as I want to be like Gabriel Mara, also I be like, honestly, I don't know, Mashloni, like, what you're doing is absolutely disgusting. Worse when we are fighting for it, okay? When the family is like, thank you for your services, you have also been a shitty person, now please leave, be a man and leave, okay? That's not your house, that's another man's house, that's not your company, that's another man's company. Like, why? Guys, why? Like, I am just failing to understand at this point, Uguti, why is Gabriel so I don't even know what to call him. Like, he's just a disgrace, honestly. He is just a disgrace, knowing that he's actually fighting a nail in the tooth for someone else's another man, Kasana, another man. Anyway, Felicia was just like, listen, two can play that game. And I think Felicia had so much trust in her husband, Never was she ever questioning what Gabriel is doing, who is Gabriel doing it with, and all that, especially the finances of the company. Felicia was just trusting that her husband is running the company and that's all that needs to be it. But right now, baby girl has been going through the company's finances, finding out some shenanigans. And I really think that Gabriel rented an apartment for Waruna and Sanson. Okay, and if that's true, because that's what Felicia has found out, and if that's true, so tell me, if you are renting an apartment, a whole apartment for someone, aren't you still seeing that person? Aren't you still seeing that person? So the theory or the ideology that Gabriel and Maruna are not seeing each other anymore, like, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true, because why is Gabriel renting a whole apartment for Maruna? Why? And remember, the very same Gabriel is the one who was opposed to marriage. Okay, he's the one who was opposed to Bongo marrying Waruna, saying no, Waruna is a big star. Honestly, right now she will only care about her dreams, fulfilling her dreams, traveling, seeing the world and all that, and care less about Bongo and the fact that Bongo needs to a wife who will help him run the company, But Felicia was just like, there's something shady about my husband. There is something so shady about my husband. So now Bongo is going to be followed. Bongo is going to be followed because Felicia has hired a private investigator in saying that she needs her husband's whereabouts to be known. Okay, wherever he is moving to, she needs to know her husband's whereabouts. Okay, and I am so shook if with the private the private investigator following Gabriel can actually find out Gabriel still visits the apartment in Santon. Like, I will be so disappointed in both Gabriel and Maruna, because Maruna was also talking to a priest, saw on her child's life that nope, nothing still happens between herself and Gabriel. Okay, so if it does, like, it will just be so disgusting. And also Gabriel, shame bandla, he wants us to believe that he cares so much about his family, that the only thing that he really doesn't want to lose is his family, this and that, of which is a planned lie. Okay, he only cares about the money. He does not want to lose the money. He does not want to lose anything that he's being provided for by the family, the status, him being the CEO of the company. Those are things that he doesn't want to lose. But Kesana, he is making measures. He's making measures that he does not lose any of those, because he is now meeting up with the pastor. The pastor is just like, Gabriel, you honestly disappointed me, okay? But Gabriel is like, you are a pastor. You have to cancel me. You have to do this. Like, I just cannot lose my family over this whole shenanigans. Like, it cannot happen. It cannot happen. This shenanigans has went way too far. And honestly, I am in no place, no position of even dreaming of losing my family over this whole thing. So yeah, guys, Gabriel, desperation is definitely written all over his eyes, and I honestly having a hard time to believe that he loves or cares for his family. Like, that's something that I'm just having a hard time believing. But yeah, I wonder, the big question here is that will it work on Felicia? Well, as soon as Felicia sees the pastor and the pastor's wife, her heart melts and decides to forgive her husband. And what will happen? Because Maruna is still a threat and a big problem in Felicia's life, because Felicia does not want Maruna to marry her son. Hi guys, anyway, I think at this point, this is where I'm going to end the review. That's all that I had for you on tonight's episode. Now, if you do love and enjoy our reviews, you will give this a video a huge thumbs up, and I will most likely see you on the next one when I am bringing you more reviews. Now till then, please do stay blessed, and I love you so much.